What's up guys, today we're going to be installing True Fiber's carbon fiber gurney flap onto our 2011 Mustang GT500. This gurney flap will also fit 2010 to 2014 Mustang GT500s and any vehicle equipped with an aftermarket GT500 spoiler. In the box you're going to get the carbon fiber gurney flap, the prep pads that you need to prep the surface, and the 3M adhesion promoter to create a good bond between the 3M tape and your spoiler. The tools we're going to need today include a heat gun, fishing line, possibly a plastic pry tool to pry the old gurney flap up, some adhesion removing material, a drill, and a rubber wheel to remove any leftover tape. Alright, let's get this thing going. Alright guys, we're going to start by removing the stock gurney flap from the vehicle. This one is the OEM gurney flap that has been hydro dipped in a carbon fiber. Obviously we're upgrading to the real deal today. We're going to start by heating up the gurney flap on the low setting with a heat gun. That's going to prevent damage to the paint that might occur on a high setting or to the original gurney flap if you need to reuse it in the future. We're just heating up the gurney flap here. This is going to loosen up the tape underneath it so that it can be pried up more easily. Maybe get under there with some fishing line. Obviously we don't want to leave it on the paint for too long or it could cause the paint to bubble and damage it. So at this point I'm going to grab my pry bar tool. Let's see if we can't loosen some of this up, and perfect, it's coming right up without really fighting too much. So it may just take going back and forth a couple times to get this thing to really loosen up. Obviously I'm trying my darndest not to damage the original one because I might use it in the future if I ever go back to stock. So we're just going to go back and forth a couple times with this. One other tip that you can use is you can get some fishing line from Walmart or Home Depot or wherever, and you can actually come through with the fishing line underneath the gurney flap and start to work back and forth. This kind of acts like a cutting tool and cuts that old tape. Kind of whatever works best for you. You're going to find that a mixture of both that pry tool and the fishing line is going to work best. Just take care not to damage the paint around. Alright guys, so we're almost done removing the old gurney flap here. There's just a little bit of tape holding it in place at this point. So I'm finished kind of pulling it up. I was using my pry tool and it was actually coming up pretty good. You'll notice that there's some alignment holes that actually keep the gurney flap from moving around, and also you'll see the old tape residue under there, kind of what's holding it in place. There we go. So this is the old gurney flap. It's got those alignment pegs that help keep it aligned in the old spoiler. We're going to be covering up those holes and obviously removing all that old tape that we can get off of there and the old adhesive before we put our new one on. Alright guys, the next tool we're going to be using during this installation is going to be the rubber tool from 3M that they have. It's just a rubber block that you can put into a drill. Basically the idea of it, as it spins, it spits off the old tape. So just need any cordless or corded drill. Put the rubber wheel inside of the drill. So we have the old gurney flap completely removed. All the adhesive and tape has been removed as well. As you can see, there was some slight damage from removing the old adhesive tape. It does pull some of the paint with it sometimes, but that's alright because it's going to be covered by the new gurney flap anyway, so no one will be able to see that. If you want to be really careful with it, you can always take it slower, and instead of using a rubber wheel, just use a magic eraser, which is what we ended up using in the end anyway, and you'll see that in the time-lapse video. going to prep the surface of the spoiler to accept the new Gurney flap. You're going to need your prep pads and your prep stick. The prep pad, pretty self-explanatory. You're just going to wipe down the surface of the spoiler where the Gurney flap is going to go so that it doesn't have any grease from your hands or oils. The prep stick, however, is important because it actually creates a better bond between the tape and the spoiler. So follow along. So at this point we're going to use our prep stick. We're going to create a path for the tape to sit onto. Again, just ensuring a good bond so that your Gurney flap doesn't go flying off when you're going down the highway. So you're going to crack your stick. Should just take a little bit of shaking, and then it's going to leave a little film of adhesive type of liquid so that it creates that better bond. I believe they say to let that set up for just a second before you put your tape onto the trunk of the car. Keep in mind, you pretty much are going to get one shot at this. The Gurney flap's going to have to lay down exactly where you want it. We've already test fitted ours, so we kind of have an idea of where it's going to sit once we have it on the car. So just be absolutely certain when you put it down that it is going where you want it to go, because it's going to be almost impossible to get this thing back off, just like you had to do with the original Gurney flap. It's going to require a lot of prying and fishing line and all sorts of stuff, so get it right. So we have our new Gurney flap here. We already have started to peel the tape. As you can see, it's got that sticky double-sided tape on the back side of it, so we're just going to peel off that tape. Again, we've already laid down the prep stick. I'm going to kind of line up one corner of this on the spoiler and kind of just line up the other end before I start to lay it down completely. As you can hear, I mean, that stuff really sticks. So make sure you have it where you want it before you finally press it down. So once you have it where you want it, spaced evenly, go ahead and just firmly press down on the spoiler. And now it's set up. Okay guys, we're really happy with how the install turned out. The Gurney flap looks great. It's been riding around on the back of the car for about a week now. No problems with it. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Give us any feedback as to what you want us to do next. We're always looking for new project ideas. And thank you.